If you're a beginner and you want to learn how to sing, you've come to the right place. Hey everyone, I'm your host Danae, and in this video, our teacher Arliss is going to share a few tips and vocal exercises to help develop your singing technique. So stay tuned, and before you go, check the link in the description box below to access one of our free online singing classes.
First of all, we're talking about common pitfalls for beginners that make them feel like they're a bad singer. A lot of singers wind up utilizing their breath in a way that is not exactly conducive to singing. So the first thing that happens is we tend to gasp. We tend to do this. We tend to go, ah. Notice how my shoulders and my sternum, this is my sternum, notice how it lifted up and came back down. So what that in and of itself is going to be contraindicated for singing. What that's going to do is it's going to give me more air in my throat. It's lifting up and creating tension here in the body. And then I'm wanting the body to be relaxed as I sing, which is about just the opposite of what's just happened. It's kind of impossible to tell the body to suddenly calm down. So one of the best things to start out with is take a nice, slow breath. But we're going to utilize the rib cage in order to do that. So I want you to put your hands on your rib cage right now, right there. We're going to put the hands rather high so that your pinky finger is on the bottom of your rib cage. That means your pinky is going to rest just above your waist. So as you take this inhale, open the rib cage and the nose to accept the air. You'll notice I'm very precise with my language. That's because I want the body and your ears to hear what I'm saying differently. So let's open up that rib cage and we'll do the same thing. We're going to take it a sigh this time. Ah. Let's do it twice more. Ah. Ah. You'll notice the body will be quieter and it will be much easier for you to generate sound. So secondly, I'm going to talk a little bit about proper posture. Proper posture is going to help you access your breath in a different way. One of the things that I unfortunately see a lot is pushing out the stomach. Please be really careful with that. I'm going to stand up and show you what happens. When I push out the stomach, I'm going to put my hand on my back so that you can see what's happening to my spine. When I push out my stomach as I sing, oftentimes we'll get this dumping sensation. Notice how I have a large curvature in my back now. If I'm thinking about pushing out on the belly or pushing out on the stomach, I will get a different type of posture than is conducive to singing. So just like I mentioned before in my first example, we're going to think about opening the rib cage. We're going to not work so hard, actually, at our breath. We're going to expand that rib cage and let it contract. Then the diaphragm will be set up to do exactly what it's supposed to do, which is flatten out as it draws the air into the lungs and fills them up. This is your pump. You want to think about that rib cage opening and then coming back together. The abdomen, and the reason people talk about the stomach is they actually mean the stomach area or the abdomen muscles. We're going to use this entire section of our core, just like in Pilates, just like in yoga, just like in weightlifting, just like in running. This is why a lot of my students say, hey, I can sing a whole lot better after I've been running or been working out. That's because your breath has been reset to its natural state. So we're going to allow our rib cage to open out, which is going to help us maintain an elongated posture, and we're going to let it close back down. Next, let's talk a little bit about how a beginner can learn to control their breath. Notice you're not seeing a whole lot of movement in my upper body. We actually want that. We want less movement here because this is part of our drum or our resonator. It's one of our resonators. We kind of call this one the drum. Let's do our Tarzan yell. Ready? We're going to do this. Oh! Try it out. Do it with me. Go. Oh! Did you notice that there was a change as you beat on your chest? You can hear it even as I speak. It is a resonator, and therefore it's going to have an effect on your sound. So if I'm pumping this up and down, it's not as open and free to keep my sound as even as I want it. So we're going to open up our rib cage nice and slow, again, maintaining our posture, keeping our posture erect, and also elongated spine and relaxed shoulders. The more you raise the shoulders, the more tension we'll actually be putting into the larynx. We don't want tension in the larynx. We want that to be free. So opening up the rib cage, take a nice slow inhale and then slowly exhale. So I'm going to stand up so you can see that the ribs and the center part of my body are doing all the work. Here we go. Now your sternum will rise, but notice that it rises much less and it rises from below. This is what a natural breath actually looks like. The more you can practice slowing your breath down and utilizing this more natural breath, which is, by the way, the diaphragmatic breath, the easier it will be for you to generate sound. Now, let's talk about what types of songs beginners should attempt to sing. It's so tempting to want to sing Ariana Grande. It's so tempting because I know we all love her voice. Or we want to sing Mariah Carey, or we want to sing Whitney Houston. These are really big songs from singers who have matured and who have been training for years. And therefore, those songs can be a little rough and perhaps even dangerous for the beginning voice. So I recommend going for songs that are a little bit easier and maybe aren't exploding so fast. Next, let's talk a little bit about learning how to stay on pitch. I do recommend using a piano over using perhaps like a guitar or an instrument that needs to be retuned. Pianos, especially electronic pianos, are generally already in tune and you don't have to worry about the pitch changing. We're going to use the piano when we're doing our scales. And we're going to practice singing with the piano. Mi, me, ma, mo, moo. In that way, we're able to get some feedback, auditory feedback, that we are on pitch or off. There are also some great apps out there, and I know you guys know how to find them, that will give you visual feedback on whether or not you are on pitch. Ear training is also very important, and this is why I recommend utilizing the piano so that you can hear the notes that you're singing. Oftentimes in ear training, what we can do is strike the note on the piano, sing the note, ah, and then strike the note again to ensure that that's the note we are hitting. Let's talk a little bit about practicing. How often should you practice? When you're first starting out, I feel it's important to get to these exercises about 15 minutes a day. So I recommend spending about 15 minutes on vocal exercises. Notice I didn't say singing your songs. All right, so lastly, go easy on yourself. Give yourself the time to develop new muscle habits.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and let us know which of these tips has helped improve your voice the most. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with more helpful tutorials just like this one.